Following breaking news, Mayor Marty Walsh is giving us an update on the coronavirus response in Boston. Let's listen in.
By saying our thoughts and prayers with the people of Nova Scotia, Canada, after a devastating act of violence yesterday. Nova Scotia, those that don't remember this, Nova Scotia gives us our Christmas tree every year on Boston Common. Premier Stephen McNeil brings a large delegation to Boston Common for our celebration, lighting our tree. They're the kindest people you'll ever meet. I can only imagine their grief and shock they're experiencing right now. So I want Nova Scotia to let them know that from Boston, we're standing with you as friends. Yesterday's numbers update as of yesterday. We do not get today's numbers yet. Massachusetts had 38,077 cases of coronavirus. That's up 1,705 from the day before. We have 1,706 deaths in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's up 146 from the day before. In Boston, we have 5,516 cases. I'm sorry, up 116 from the day before, and we had 17 deaths as of yesterday. Additionally, that's 175 in total. As I've been saying all along, our thoughts and prayers go out to those who have lost loved ones and also those families that are experiencing a lot of suffering during this time. I want to remind everyone what we should be doing to protect yourself and to help slow the spread of the virus. Stay at home as much as possible. Only go out for essential items. Wash your hands with soap and warm water throughout the day. Cover your face when you're outside. Give people a 6-foot buffer, a distance between you and the people around you. Avoid crowds of any kinds and social gatherings. Yesterday, we had 7 sound trucks broadcasting this information in 7 different languages throughout the city of Boston. We got positive feedback from communities that made a difference, but we still know not everyone is getting the message. Yesterday, we had issues at the Divine Golf Course in Franklin Park and the George Wright Golf Course in Hyde Park. Groups of people were playing golf, even though the courses are closed. In one case, the Boston Police Department had to come and tell them to leave. This shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't need to be, you should not need to be told. But we won't hesitate to send police officers to deliver the message, if necessary, deliver citations. We also had people yesterday playing soccer. We had people doing walking but socializing while you're walking. We had people, a lot of people out there because of the good weather. We need to stop the spread of the virus, and by doing this is not by gathering in social gatherings or socializing. It's by staying at home, self-isolation, physical distancing. In better news, we're hearing that the BAA, that there is very little activity on the marathon route today. I want to thank all the people who are listening and doing the right thing. Obviously today, right about now, we should all be either watching on television or at the finish line, watching the runners come in and celebrating Patriots Day. We cannot do that this year the same way, but we are asking people to still celebrate Patriots Day by social isolating, social distancing, physical distancing, but by reaching out to people, letting them know that you're there for them if they need you. Updates on the Boston Hope Medical Center at the BCEC. As of last night, we had 162 total patients being treated there, including 86 on the hospital side and 76 on the respite side for homeless individuals. In all, the Boston Hope has served over 250 patients. I want to thank all the folks that helped make this happen as well, because clearly it's helping us with our hospital capacity and allowing our hospitals to treat the very sick. This facility that we stood up in 5 days is able to treat a total of 1,000 people. The City of Boston has operated 500 of these beds in partnership with the Boston Healthcare for the Homeless. This level of care is possible because we made our most vulnerable residents a priority from the very beginning of this crisis. We started in March by building quarantine and treatment facilities next to our largest shelters. Then we got 172 beds in the Suffolk University dorms, improving shelter spacing. We got 70 more beds at the former hospital on Comm Ave in Brighton. We added 250 beds at the Newton Pavilion in partnership with the state. We have 50 beds for veterans at a facility in Brighton. And Boston University provided more than 75 rooms for Pine Street and staff. Because of all this work that's been collectively put in together and the supports of these partnerships, we have the capacity to shelter and treat every single homeless individual safely. and be able to keep people out of the hospital system. We're going to continue to make sure this is the case. I want to thank everyone involved in that ongoing effort today. On personal protective equipment, we are continually working to source and supply PPE to our first responder and the wider medical community. Today, we are starting a program of decontaminating the N95 masks used for our first responders. I want to thank all the people part of that, Partners Healthcare, and Battelle has agreed to help us in their facility in Somerville. It's going to take some pressure off sourcing for PPE and police, fire, and EMS. It's also going to ease the pressure in the larger system of the supply chain that medical systems are drawing on. So what it means is we're going to be able to take the current N95 masks and be able to clean them so they can be reused. I've heard they can be reused up to 20 times each if we have the proper decontamination. Testing for COVID-19 is an issue across the country, as we keep hearing on the news and reading in the papers. I have an update here in Boston. We've been working with hospitals and community health centers to create and expand testing sites across our city. You can always start by connecting with your healthcare provider or calling 311. But many of these sites you can contact directly to schedule an appointment. So to make it easier to find a way, to be able to contact and get a test site near you, we've created a mobile testing app. It's available on bphc.org. That's bphc.org. That's a testing access map. It includes locations, hours, phone numbers, and websites for testing centers. It'll be updated as our new sites come online. The goal is to have every community health center able to provide testing to the residents in their neighborhoods. We are also breaking new ground in transparency about testing access. Starting today, we'll be sharing data on testing at by neighborhoods and zip code levels. So far, we've been providing total confirmed cases and cases per capita for your neighborhoods. Now we can include the number of people tested and the rates of positive tests for each community. We are looking at this kind of information and data every day to inform our strategy for deploying resources, conducting outreach, and providing communications to the community. And we're constantly looking for new ways to improve and expand that work. Starting today, we have also expanded our text message alert system from 6 languages to 11 languages. If you have already signed up, you will continue to get the messages. If you have not signed up yet, we have a new number. Text the word BOSS COVID, BOSCOVID, to 888-777. That's text the word BOSS COVID, 888-777. I think we have something here somewhere. We're supposed to have a flyer here, but we'll get it out to you. You can find the codes for the 10 other languages if you wish to get information in your language at boston.gov/coronavirus. Getting all of the right information right now is critical for everyone in this crisis, and you should only rely on trusted sources. And protect yourself from predators who will take advantage of this situation. We continue to get reports of scams targeting seniors and other folks in the city of Boston with false offers of federal relief designed to get personal information from you. Recently, we've been alerted to scams targeting small businesses with claims about SBA loans and grants. So we're urging everyone to protect themselves, and we're providing information and resources to help you with that. We're sending out warnings to our small businesses. We have a guidebook with up-to-date information about the new federal programs. You can visit the City of Boston's website at boston.gov/smallbusiness or call 311. If you think you may be the target or a victim of a scam, we're asking you to call 911. This week is school vacation week, and I know it doesn't feel like school vacation week for a lot of people or like any other April we've experienced. But I want to make clear that our support for Boston school children does not take a break. All of our 65 meal sites remain open every day this week. After Friday's distribution, we were up to a total of 438,000 meals served. And starting today, City Resources, we have opened 6 new meal sites that will serve all residents in the neighborhoods of East Boston, Dorchester, Southie, Roxbury, Mattapian, and Brighton. For hours and locations, we're asking you to call 311, or you can visit the online map at boston.gov/COVID-19 food map. It shows all the food services, and resources for all our residents, including youth meal sites, food pantries, and so much more. We are working every day to meet the needs of Boston's residents. Our young people, our seniors, our homeless, our vulnerable and residents, our essential workers and first responders, and everyone in our city. I believe every single person has value, and every single person has a role to play in getting us through this. I want to close by reflecting on this weekend that just passed in the city of Boston. Saturday was the service for Officer Jose Fontanez. We stood along with many police officers and members of the public safety community to pay our respects while maintaining physical distancing. It was certainly a very emotional time and day in our city. Officer Fontanez served our community faithfully for 29 years and protected people. He represented the best of us. But at the same time, we saw terrible acts of violence in our city. On Wednesday, a 17-year-old young woman was murdered in Dorchester. On Saturday, a 16-year-old was shot in Jamaica Plain. And on Saturday night, a 10-year-old girl was injured by gunfire in Roxbury. The first thing I want to say is that my heart goes out to the families and the communities. We are doing everything we can to be there for you and to make sure that this is not a trend. The next thing I want to say is to anyone who fires a gun right now is you're a coward. You put everyone around you in danger. You bring trauma and suffering on your community, and you will face justice. But everyone else who was there on Saturday night has to look at themselves as well. The situation came out of a crowd that was gathered in an apartment, ignoring a curfew, ignoring guidelines, ignoring their community. This infuriated me, other elected officials, and certainly the community. People are telling me how angry and upset they are. I want the youth and young adults who were gathered that night to look what happened. Ask themselves, is this what you want to be a part of? Look at the little girl. Look at your own siblings, nieces and nephews. Look at your grandmother and ask if she deserves to be safe. We're doing everything we can to protect every community from a pandemic that is taking people's lives. We're doing everything we can to support people in need of resources. The last thing our community needs right now is violence. I understand that situations are difficult. Positive outlets are limited. Our Office of Public Safety is working on intervention plans with our trauma teams, our street workers, clergy, community leaders, and the Boston Police Department, and other partners.